Want the most ridiculous ad management build? This is my favorite Strand Hunter build. You probably already know Whirling Maelstrom is insane, but do you know how good Threaded Spectre is? I made the unfortunate mistake of ignoring Threaded Spectre even after Bungie buffed it, and I promise this thing is nuts. It's like being invisible, but being able to shoot your weapons rather than hiding like a little bitch while you regen health. I used this build to absolutely dominate in the first 2 encounters with Courtesan during contest mode, and fully intend to use it in any master raid except in boss encounters. Let's get into it. I'm using Gambler's Dodge to help spam my melee abilities because I usually can't be bothered to catch my Threaded Spike. For my grenade, I typically use Shackle for additional ad control, unstoppable capabilities, and to pair with Thread of Mind to get my dodge back quicker, but Grapple is also a great option. Aspects I'm running are Threaded Spectre and Whirling Maelstrom. You've probably seen enough of Whirling Maelstrom, I don't need to tell you why it's insane, but Threaded Spectre is highly underused in my opinion. This is the one that creates the little strand decoy dude whenever you dodge. It was pretty terrible when it launched, but now it takes more damage, allowing it to last much longer. This decoy will literally make it as though you are invisible to nearby enemies as they focus on your decoy, but unlike actual invisibility, you're still able to continue using your weapons and abilities while the enemies focus on your decoy. To make it even better, if the enemies do take out your decoy or get close enough to detonate it, the decoy will spawn 2 threadlings. If you still have been sleeping on this, I promise you need to try it. Fragments, I'm running Thread of Generation to get my grenades back quickly, Thread of Mind to get my class ability back quicker, Thread of Transmutation to make sure that I'm making plenty of tangles no matter what weapons I'm using, and most importantly, Thread of Warding because Woven Mail is insane. My favorite exotic armor to run here is the 6 Coyote. With this, you almost always have a decoy sitting in your back pocket and can spam even more melees to keep the enemy severed. 2 other awesome choices would be this one that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, just in case you run out of Woven Mail, or of course Foe Tracers if you're using a strand weapon for an easy and pretty consistent 25% weapon damage buff. The important mods. A Siphon mod matching your ad clear weapon of choice on your helmet. This is primarily to keep Woven Mail refreshing. Then whatever you want in the other 2 slots, I'm using the exotic primary typically, so I'd like to run a heavy ammo finder and scout. Arms, I like to run a heavy-handed mod. In most master content, your Threaded Spike won't one-hit most red bars, but on the off chance that it does, I like to create an orb to keep my Woven Mail up. I'm also running Focusing Strike to keep my class ability coming back quicker, and Impact Induction to get my grenades back a bit quicker when I damage enemies with Threaded Spike. Chest mods are up to you. I'm almost always running 1 Concussive Dampener with elemental resistances to match the activity. On my boots, I like to run 2 recuperation mods and 1 better already for a burst of healing and start health regen when I pick up orbs, but you could easily run a surge or 2 instead of double recuperation mods. Class item, I'm running Bomber to help my grenades come back a bit quicker, Special Finisher to help with ammo regen, and finally Powerful Attraction. It's important to run at least 1 mod that uses armor charges so you are able to continue picking up orbs when your super is full. To take advantage of Woven Mail, recuperation, and better already, I just think Special Finisher is a great choice when you don't need anything else. As I mentioned already, you could easily, of course, swap out 1 of the recuperation mods for an Elemental Surge mod to boost weapon damage, or you could throw on a Font mod if your stats are lacking. I love using Powerful Attraction here because when I'm getting a bit too low on health, I can quickly dodge to create a decoy to take the enemy aggro off me, and if there are any orbs nearby, I will instantly get a burst of healing, start regenerating health, and get insane damage resistance from Woven Mail. My favorite weapon to pair with this is Quicksilver Storm, and I've been enjoying either a fusion or shotgun with my Reconstruction Bipod Apex Predator for champions, but any weapons you want to swap in here will do, so long as you're using the appropriate Siphon mods to create orbs. This build is by no means tied to any seasonal artifact mods, but you'd be crazy to not use Elemental Munitions with Whirling Maelstrom for some awesome ammo regen. This build is fairly straightforward to use, just don't be afraid to use your abilities, they'll be back in no time. If you get overwhelmed, just dodge. The only other thing I'll add here is that if it doesn't look like the nearby enemies will destroy your Threaded Spectre decoy and you no longer need it to take the aggro, go ahead and shoot it yourself to detonate it to get those threadlings to spawn. If the enemies never break the decoy, it will just disappear. You might as well take advantage of those 2 threadlings. I really hope you have as much fun with this build as I am. Thanks for watching, my friends.